There I told the woman, why is my daughter always standing at the back of the line? She was shocked. She wasn't expecting me. She wasn't expecting me to ask that kind of question. I said, what is she always doing at the back of the line? Why is she always at the back? I said, she's the only black kid there. She can't be standing at the back of the line. Today is a very sensitive topic I want to talk about. Something happened this past week that kind of upset me. And in as much as I love this country so much, I love the UK so much, I've met a lot of beautiful people here. I'm talking about white people now. That when you now get those odd ones, that will make you just get, that you just want to get your things and just get out of here. It's really sad what I want to talk about today. And I know some people will say, if you know you don't like it, why don't you come back home? Why are you still there? You will still get people who will reason like that. Some people will say, oh, as long as it's not physical abuse, they can tolerate any level of abuse as long as it's not physical. Somebody actually reasoned like that. You will see some people will even be making an excuse for, they will say, oh, this person abused me, it's my fault. They will be blaming themselves for being abused. So what I want to talk about today is along those lines. It's one of the things that makes me really, really happy right now that I am planning to Japada. This is one of the reasons why I pray for Nigeria so much, that that country find rest, so that people can stop running away from that country. That when people want to leave Nigeria, they are just going to go on holiday, going to go on courses, going to do, short-term things and come back home. And I don't pray for that for Nigeria alone. I pray for Africa generally. So what happened this week? I was getting dressed to go to work. And I was telling my daughter, make sure you read your book. Make sure that's my 4-year-old daughter. And she said, oh, mommy, I want to go and play. So I said, play. What do you mean play? And she mentioned one of our classmates. I want to go to so person's house to play. In our class, mind you, there are just about 6 or 7 people. They are not much. So she mentioned and she's the only black person in her classroom. Then in the nursery class, so she's in a reception class. In the nursery class, there's another small black Nigerian girl that's just joined them, who is younger than her. So she was not mentioning one of her classmates that she wanted to go to that boy's house to play. Apparently, that's one of the people who she plays with the most at school. So I asked her, do you want me to call that boy's mother to tell the mother that you want to come and play with him? Although I didn't plan to take her there, I was just engaging her in a conversation. And she now said, oh yeah, you can. I want to go to him because I mentioned another child's name, because so said that my daughter cannot come to her birthday party. So I was like, why? Why did she say you can't come to her birthday party? And then she said, oh, because her birthday is for only children with white face. She said only children that have white face can come to our party. So I paused for a minute and I was like, what did you just say? Can you repeat that? She repeated it. I said, who told you that? She mentioned the girl's name again. A young girl like herself told her that. And I said, did you tell your teacher when the girl said that? She said no. And that normally nobody plays with her. So when my older children heard that, they took her to her room. They started grilling her with questions. Because those ones, once they hear those kind of things like this, their blood starts to boil. So I just told my daughter as I was going to work that, look at what your sister just said. Can you get to the bottom of it? Sit her down and engage her in a conversation to get as much information as you can get. So she said nobody plays with her. And she goes to it's only when they mix them with the reception children, the nursery children. That's when she plays with that Nigerian girl. That's the only girl that plays with her. That girl will probably be maybe like 3-year-old. She is 4. I'm observing things. Even though she communicates, she will tell you all these things, but she won't think to tell you because she doesn't know that it's a bad thing straight away. It's when she's playing and she remembers something, she'll just mention it. So sometimes weeks would have passed before we hear of maybe incidents that have happened. But what I noticed was, a few weeks back when I took her to the general park, we don't know the people in the park, everybody comes from their home to come and play in the park. And she was standing by a slide, the slide where you go up the ladder on one side and then the children slide down. So she was standing by the slide. Other white children were playing. She was the only black girl there because our area where we live is a highly white area. Although we have a lot of black people living in this, who have started settling in this neighborhood now. So I won't say they've not seen black people before. So she stood by the slide, and other children were playing. And I said, Esther, come on, take a turn. So she told me, oh, mommy, no, I have to wait my turn. I have to wait my turn. So I said, okay, wait your turn. So as all the children were going up and down the slide, she just stood there. That even some children who had gone before were coming back to come and use the slide again. My daughter was still standing there. And I said, Esther, but it's your turn. You can take a turn. She said, oh, no, she's going to go after the girl has just gone. A girl who has gone before has come round again. So now when the girl did that round and left, my daughter was still standing there. And I told her, I said, Esther, look, there's nobody there now. Can you go and take your turn? She just said, oh, I can take my turn now. And then she went onto the slide and took her turn when there was like maybe just one child left who was just getting off the slide. So I thought to myself, I said, come, what's going on here? Because as an observant mother, you would pick up on these little things that will give you an idea of what your child might be going through at school. So immediately I understood that this girl, they are conditioning her at school to always wait to take her turn. Why there's nothing wrong with, making her wait to take her turn. The issue there is they are, like treating her in a manner that is almost in an exclusive way, if that makes any sense. Like they're excluding her out of things. And that's what I picked up from that particular incident. Because I sat down and I thought about it. I said, the only place that this girl goes to, mingle with other children, associate with other children is at her school. So that will be the only place where she'll be playing, and then they'll be telling her to take her turn. Because, there are times when they've said, oh, she doesn't communicate, she doesn't wait her turn. They've mentioned that in one of the reports that they wrote before. So I'm putting one and one together now to figure out that. So it must be the school where they keep telling her to wait her turn and let other children who happen to be the white children play first. Her being the only black will now stand on the side for other children to finish. When they've exhausted the things they are doing and played, then they will now let her have a turn. So they stand her aside. So I took that as another incident. Then I remember another incident that I complained about, that every time we go to pick her at school, about 6 or 7 of them are lining up from the class. My daughter is always at the very back. All other children will be lined up. She's always the one at the very back. So I thought to myself, okay, maybe because sometimes the father runs late to pick her up, or sometimes we are arriving there quite later than, because there are just about 7 of them anyway. So I said, okay, maybe because we are arriving later to pick her up, maybe that's why she's always at the back. So as I was nursing my baby, I was on maternity. I started going early to pick her. I just wanted to notice, what's been going on. So I started going early to pick her, and she was always at the back. And now I approached the teacher, and now asked her, I said, why is my daughter always the one at the back of the line? Because I told her at home, before I went to tell the teacher, that I don't want to see you at the back again. Make sure you stand in the middle at least. If your teacher, she said, my teacher told me to stand at the back. I said, tell her that if she's telling you to stand at the back of the line, you tell her that your mom said you should stand in the middle. Come bring yourself to the middle of the line. Don't stand at the back of the line. Some people will say there's nothing wrong at the back. There's nothing wrong with being at the back of the line. There is something wrong with being at the back of the line if you are the only minority in the class. And I know how the teachers are. I don't need anybody to tell me. That school is not inclusive at all. They don't embrace diversity. The only reason why I'm not taken out of there, because people will be commenting now to say, why did you leave her there? You should take her out of that school. The closest school to us here is quite far out from where we live now. Not too far, but quite farther out. So this one is closer to us. That's why we put her there, so that we can manage her and then the other brother. She's only gone there now for a year. It's not like she's been going there for so long. The only reason why I've not pulled her out is because I know that we are Japada into Nigeria. So I know that there's no need for me to unsettle her before then now removing her again to Nigeria. That's why I thought, okay, let's leave her there and just give her the support that she needs until, when we are carrying our bag. This school, there's no stopping them. And then you will see the way they will look at you sometimes. That school, before I went to pick my children, parked into the school compound and parked into a cab, one of the bays there. The gate man, very, very nasty, racist old man, locked me in the school and kept me there. And I went there to say, you have locked me in the gate now. I've picked my child. Come and open the gate for me. He saw me when I was parking. He didn't say, oh, I'm going to lock the gate. Are you sure you want to park here? So that I would have just removed my car and go and park on the road. He saw me as I was parking. He just looked at me and walked past. And he knew what he was going to go and do was to lock the gate. I went there to go and tell them that, where is this man? Oh, they said he's coming, he's coming. He's coming. I waited another 20 minutes. They wasted my time very well. Everybody had gone home before he came to open the gate for me. And I was coming to open the gate. He now put his face on the side. He avoided all eye-to-eye contact with me because he knows that I'm going to say something. So he just puts his face elsewhere because they know we speak, because we challenge all these things. And they don't like it. There I told the woman, why is my daughter always standing at the back of the line? She was shocked. She wasn't expecting me. She wasn't expecting me to ask that kind of question. I said, why is she always doing at the back of the line? Why is she always at the back? I said, she's the only black kid there. She can't be standing at the back of the line. And it's not like she's standing at the back of the line. Out of 7 children, between the 6th one and my daughter, there's a long gap. You will not see all of them. 6 of them will come like this. Then my daughter will not be coming on her own, dragging her bag like this and be coming. Separate from even the group. So when I complained, she said, oh, it's because she's always slow to wear a jacket and we always tell her to hurry up, blah, blah, blah. So after that day, a few weeks after, they started mixing her up. Over time, she's ended up at the back of the line again. So I said, well, there's no need for me to shout. Our language, they will say, Allah tishelo mama tishiare. You know? When prayer is one thing, common sense is another thing. So I told my husband, I said, there's no need to argue with these people. No need to shout. Whenever they do anything, we know that, okay, this one is a serious case. We will tackle it head on. We will challenge it. Because it's somebody that will make that change. We will fight it. We'll fight it to the end. Till I remove her there, till this time for Japada. I'm not removing her from that school. So we have to keep them within the neighborhood so that the school run is still easy for us. And that's the reason why I didn't change our school. And I keep asking the girl, I said, how would you feel if you go and live in a place where everybody looks like you? Everybody have the same hair like you. Everybody have the same face like you. Everybody is brown like you. Your face is brown. Everybody is brown like you. How would you feel? Oh, she said, Mommy, I love it. I want to go. Since then, she's been telling us, Mommy, can we go to Nigeria today? I said, well, we need tickets to go to Nigeria. We have not bought a ticket yet. Then she'll go and get the Aldi receipt and say, Mommy, look, I've got tickets. Let's go to Nigeria. So she's excited now about Nigeria. She wants to go and see a classroom. As I've described the classroom for her, that you are going to be in a class where everybody's going to look like you. You don't have to worry about going to somebody's birthday whose face is only all white party, all white face. And I said, that girl is not nice. We are not going to her birthday anyway. So that's one of the things that I find quite challenging in this country. It's me, I don't even mind because I'm mature enough to handle it. My daughter used to fight. She said it in one of her videos. She used to fight Taya then. But when it now comes to a 4-year-old, after a while, it takes its toll on you. You just get fed up that when you feel like, okay, I can just about be comfortable in Nigeria, even though I'm not living a flamboyant life, I can just about be comfortable and be comfortable with my kids. You will now make that decision. There will come a time when such decisions are necessary. I know for some people might not share that view, which is fine. It's about time for us to start speaking up. Everybody should speak up. Nobody should. People, it irritates me when I see people who are making excuses for abuse. People are making excuses for abuse. They say, oh, it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault. That's why they're treating me like that. They don't understand that you shouldn't even be treated like that, even if it's your fault. It's like you are having a conversation with somebody now, and you can't limit it to a conversation. The next thing you raise your hand and slap somebody. Why do you have to escalate it to that level? That's another line you are crossing. You can argue your point without getting physically violent. I just wanted to rant. It's a rant today, guys. So thank you guys for watching. I will catch you on the next video. Bye.